Z-Speed back with a cabin filter install. I know what you're thinking. Hey Z-Speed, 350Zs don't have cabin filters. I know. We're gonna make one. So let's get started. So, the first thing we have to do is remove the battery cover, which is simple in itself. And then after that, we've just got really just two panels, which makes it pretty easy. And both these panels are fastened with these plastic push pins. So that's another easy thing to remove. And I like to use a plastic panel remover, but you can also use a very small screwdriver, whichever you have available. And basically the battery cover panel has 5 of those plastic push pins. And first we'll just remove all 5 of those and remove that panel. Missed one of the push pins there. Okay, so that just comes right out, and you can see how easy that is to remove. Now we've got the battery exposed, but we're not quite done yet. We still have that one more panel to go, and I believe there's only a couple of plastic push pins and some weather stripping to remove. So that's next up, and that comes out pretty easy too. So you can see that it'll make it pretty easy to get back in and replace the filter every 3 to 6 months. So let's go ahead and get these final plastic push pins out. Okay, don't forget to remove the tubing for the window washer. It just has 2 little clasps that you can slide out, and then you can easily remove the panel. And voila, right here you can see the opening for the air conditioning / fan right here, hidden underneath that panel. And it's going to be very easy to work on this. Thank goodness. And I still to this day don't know why the Nissan did not come up with a way to put up a little filter in there. So we're going to make our own with this nice little odor control, cut to fit or trim to fit air conditioning filter that you can pick up at Lowe's or Home Depot, or probably some other areas if you look around. And it just has a two-sided, one side's charcoal and the other side's got a foam filter, and it also comes with a plastic webbing, so to speak, that we're going to trim and use as a quote-unquote grill to place in this cubby hole right here so that we can lay the filter on top of it. The good news is we have like a 2 or 3 centimeter lip you can see right in there. See that little rubber gasket that goes around it? And that's what we're going to use to support our little cutout grill. And then once we place the grill in there, we can place our cutout filter right on top of that. And it'll work like a charm, trust me. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is make a template, and it's easy to do with a thin piece of cardboard. We don't want a traditional thicker piece. We want as thin a piece as you can find, or maybe some poster board. But what you want to do is lay a small cutout square on top, and as you can see, I am pressing an imprint into the cardboard with my thumb and fingers, and we're just pushing down really hard. We're going to end up with something like this. that's easy to cut with a pair of scissors. And we can then use this template to lay on the plastic mesh to cut a grill out. Okay, this is a much better view of our template, but you can see it's going to be pretty easy to follow this all the way around with a pair of scissors, and we should get some good results with this. But we don't want to cut right along the edge here. We want to add just a little bit of extra width to the template because we don't want an exact fit. We want it to be very tight. So I'm going to add just a little bit all the way around the edges. You can take a marker and draw an excess edge around there if you want, or you can just kind of eyeball it like I'm going to do right here. And I'm just adding just a little bit extra all the way around. The theory is that bigger is better because we do not want to make it too small and have it fall in or get sucked into the air conditioning duct. We want a nice tight fit, and we're going to actually cut it larger on purpose so that we can go back and hand trim it so that we get an extremely tight fit, which will keep us from having any problems with things getting sucked into the duct. Okay, so our goal is to place the template onto the plastic mesh so that when we mark it to cut it out, that we end up with a grill piece that has the most integrity possible. So you may have to play around with the positioning a little bit. I'm going to place it as you're watching. That's where I'm going to mark it out at. And you can use preferably like a silver or white marker. All I had available was this pink one here. So, but use what you got available. And this will provide us a place to cut with a box cutter, or you could even use a Dremel if you wanted to. I'm going to use a box cutter. Okay, as you can see, I've not only marked it out, but I'm going to use the template as well to use as a guide for the corners. And we don't have to worry too much about the exact positioning anyway, because we're already cutting it a little bit larger than it's supposed to be. So it doesn't have to be exact. We've already got ourselves a little bit of excess all the way around. So we already know we're going to have to trim it anyway. So don't get too worried about being totally exact. If your template slips away or you can't quite see the markings, just give yourself a little excess. That's the main goal here. End up with something that's a little bit bigger than we need. Okay, now we're ready to test fit, and I've popped it in as you can see, and it's actually pretty close already, so I'm glad I gave myself some extra space. What I'm going to do now is use the metal rim right there to give me a more exact fit here, and I'm just gonna trim it right along the edges here, and I'm gonna hope that that'll fit in pretty tight. So you can see that first run was almost a perfect fit, and it's very tight, and that's definitely not going to go anywhere. So that was a success. Okay, we can also now use this little grill that we've cut out to cut the filter out. And I'm going to place it on the filter and just draw a little line around the edges so I can cut it with a pair of scissors. And it should be a pretty close fit. And don't worry if your grill didn't come out just right or if it was too loose. You have plenty of that plastic mesh to recut another one if it didn't work out the first time. So if it didn't work out the first time, keep trying till you get a nice tight fit like I did, and then you can go ahead and cut yourself a piece of filter out to place into the duct. Okay, what we want to do now is place the filter in charcoal side down, and you should be able to tuck it in there nicely and stretch it to fit. If there's a little gap over here, you can see on one corner I've got a little gap, so I stretch that in there and it should fit pretty tight. And now you're ready to test it out. And what you want to do is get inside the car and start it up and turn the fan on and turn it on full blast, because you would be amazed at how much suction this fan has. And you just want to make sure that nothing is rattling or gets sucked into the duct. And once that's okay, we are ready to put the plastic panels back in. As I was putting things back together, I realized I was missing one push pin, so I would highly recommend this push retainer kit I got from Amazon. It's got a large variety of different size push pins, and it comes in handy if you like to work on cars. As always, thanks for watching. Z-Speed will be back soon with another video. Please like and subscribe if it helped you out. See you soon.